Okay, we're back, and I think it's actually working now. Finally. Um, if it doesn't, well, then I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. Um, all right, I think we're good. Okay. Hopefully, it's not buffering or anything. Okay. Well, we've returned, and I'm hoping the box score is actually functioning as well. That'd be great if it is. Um, this is what's going on at the main break for the Nets. Hang on. I've actually got to turn the video camera back on. I'll just update that quickly. There we go. Okay, so we can finally have a nice little discussion about everything that's going on, and you can actually see my reactions to everything. You can see Nets shooting it god awfully from three, 6 of 27 from there. Royce O'Neal has accounted for half. The rest of the team has gone 3 of 22. Um, Shooting 36% overall. And outside of Mikal, the only player within well, with a sniff of getting double figures at the moment is Royce O'Neal. So in the second half, I'd like to see a little bit more from us. We got outscored in that quarter pretty convincingly. The turnover number is a little bit out of hand. Given we're playing Washington, we've got to clean that up. For the Wizards, the reason they're actually losing, well, they've had more free throws. They've looked after the ball. The rebounds, they're getting absolutely smoked. They're down in that regard by 18. This is the second consecutive game. It is that far blown out of the water. Like, they got out rebounded by about 31 last game, and they gave away 28 offensive rebounds, which is just absolutely, uncalled for. Kyle Kuzma have been shit. Especially Kuzma, he has done nothing. And really the bench is probably having a better contribution. Yeah, so it's it hasn't been a great watch. And you know what? I'm actually sort of happy that I've been distracted by technical issues because it hasn't been exactly the most appealing game to watch. We led by 17 at our largest. The fast break points are only at 4. Turnover points are pretty good. 13 points off 5 Wizards turnovers. That's pretty damn good. So we probably need to be better at forcing those. Offensive rebounds are ridiculous at 13 already. Mikal Bridges has taken 18 shots. And I tell you what, sometimes he doesn't even take 18 in a game. And he's taken 18 and a half. We're actually looking good, and the viewer count is down, and I expect that because, well, why wouldn't it, If you want to drop a like and see if we can get this stream pushed back into the algorithm, that'd be good. It's good to see Claxton back as well. Obviously, we missed him dearly. I'm not saying that the reason we've conceded 41 points today is because of Claxton, but he's going to be really good at marshalling the defense, I do think. So that should be good. Yeah. But we've had a rough day. I slept in late, so I got here late. Then I got on. The stream hasn't exactly been great. In terms of just operating normally. And then obviously the game itself hasn't been the greatest product. So, yeah. Mikal's been pretty good though. So Lonnie Walker is another player injured. In case you missed it, he fell to the floor. And it actually looked like he'd been concussed, but I think it's just a knee injury or something like that. Mikal actually got the most rebounds in a half, or for a half in his career, with 8 in this game, which is pretty good. What else? Mikal is on 27% from 3. I think the reason I thought Lonnie was actually concussed is because, like, he landed, he was moving, and then he just, like, stopped moving. And he looked a bit shaken up. So it didn't even look like a leg injury, because he wasn't holding anything either. So he definitely didn't get hit. Like, he just landed a bit wrong. So it's another injury. It is another injury. I think he'd be okay, but obviously I'm no doctor, so we'll see how we go with regards to him. The next stream we're going to be doing, which is hopefully a little bit smoother sailing than this stream has. We're going to be doing Nets Magic. That's an in-season tournament game, and then we'll be covering Nets Heat at the end of the week. So we've started the second half. I've got to re-enable the hotkeys because they just automatically turn off. The Wizards, after the break, pull for 3. That's off. And a rebound for the Nets. Okay, so I've just got to get this to 11:30 and we should be good. Okay, we're good. So Dinwiddie is going to handle the rock at the logo. Claxton is picked up by Avdia now. He receives the pass. He leaves it for Dinwiddie, who will drive, go down the middle. He pulls up at the elbow, and he scores the step-back midi. So 51-41. The Nets are on the board. So a good start there. Avdia picked up by Doe. Kuzma in the low post on Dinwiddie. Shoots off the glass. He is fouled. Dinwiddie is a little bit confused by that decision. He has an open discussion with the referee. It's not going to make a difference. It'll be Kuzma at the free throw line. Walker is back on the bench. So he looks in pretty good spirits. He seems okay. Still in the uniform. He's not changed out of the street clothes. I feel like if he wasn't playing, you wouldn't be able to see his shorts. Like, he'd be wearing tracksuit pants over the top, but is actually legitimately on the bench. Could actually, is it stupid to say he could be able to check back in? I have no idea. Kuzma at the line missed the first attempt and made the second, so he's been pretty on and off from the free throw line. The Nets up 9, 1 minute into the third quarter. Mikal. High screen by Clax. Pass to the corner for Johnson. The 3 is well off. Claxton tried to get the board, but a good concerted effort by the Wizards. They go the other way, and there is another foul, and I think it's on Dinwiddie again, so that'd be 2 fouls in, 30 seconds. 2 consecutive possessions. It's going to be, yet again, Kuzma at the free throw line. So, shots coming up. Okay. Is Mikal trying to force his way back into form with so many shots? JV's pre-game comments would imply that. I was just having a little bit of a look on Twitter with regards to what's going on there with Lonnie Walker, and I did see that it does seem like Mikal, who has been in a bit of a slump from the outside, is just trying to shoot his way out of it. But it's not really succeeding at the moment. Dinwiddie one-on-one with Avdia. He drives, he rolls it back out to Johnson in the opposite corner, and he knocks down the 3. That's his first 3-point make of the afternoon. And it's his first 3-point make of the game. First make of the game, just generally. A miss again by Kuzma. Dinwiddie pulls up for 3. That is off, and it is off, hands out of bounds, off the hands of the Nets. So Claxton unsuccessful in raking in that rebound. But those who have rocked up, welcome back. We've had a bit of a rough stream, but we're good now. Koulibaly has started this second half. Jordan Poole pulls up for 2. Nets going to get it ahead. Early offense. Bridges just lost the ball, saved it, and then just threw it away. Rushed things when he didn't really have to. And now, in response, Tyce Jones is off. Dorian Finney-Smith with a good box out, and the Nets will slow the tempo you feel. Dinwiddie, never mind. Finney-Smith for 3. It's good. And it's a dozen. Now, the lead. 57-45. If you are enjoying thus far, I hope you're enjoying this a little bit more than the first attempt. It is... Yeah, it's finally actually functioning, this stream, and my computer as well. It's actually woken up on the second try. That is going to be a foul. And I... Bullshit, the 3's going to count. Koulibaly was in the motion of shooting, and Claxton just mowed down Jordan Poole on the way through. So I think the 3's going to count +1. And I think the referees are going to take a bit of time to review this. So 9 minutes to play. Let's have a look at the box score. You can see at first glance, Mikal has 15 points. This is the deal right now. Avdia, Koulibaly, Poole, all doing well, really well, to keep the scoreboard ticking for the Wizards. The problem is they're shooting it like shit, even still, with those players sort of performing. Kuzma has been awful. For the Nets, Finney-Smith has scored 6. Johnson has scored 5. They've both scored 3-pointers in this quarter. Dinwiddie has 7. And Nic Claxton has been, well, pretty good on his return. He has already got 9 rebounds, which is a good start for him. Royce O'Neal off the bench has scored 9. The 3-pointers are starting to fall, but even still, we're shooting it just as badly as they are. The only reason they're in the game is because we've turned the ball over. We're being prone to that. And the free throw number is a little bit out of hand in comparison to the Wizards, or in comparison to the Nets. The Wizards are up in that regard 13-5. We're out rebounding them by 20, amazingly enough, and they're only down 9. So consider themselves a little bit lucky. It is going to count as a 3, so it's going to essentially be an and 1 on a 3-point attempt, even though the foul wasn't on the shooter. It will be on Jordan, or Jordan Poole will be shooting at the line, and he doesn't make the free throw. So they're being abysmal from the line. For NBA standards, they're 8-14. So Mikal Bridges, pass to Johnson, good move into the paint. Oh, that's an absolutely ridiculous layup attempt. He's not even looking at the basket. Poole pulls up for 3. It's off, and the putback is good by Avdia. So not enough body on there. And it's down to 7. Dinwiddie, Johnson, corner for Bridges. He's wide open. He has to hit that, and it just is not going down for Mikal Bridges. That one was halfway down. And the Wizards, I mean, they had an absolute runway to the basket there. Poole bounced past it to Avdia, and he actually fumbled it out of bounds. It was a 2-on-1, so consider that a missed opportunity. We were very much disadvantaged on that fast break for the Wizards. Johnson to Claxton. Heavily picked up by Koulibaly. It's good defense. Forced to roll it back out to Dinwiddie. He's got 4 to shoot, and we've done nothing this offensive possession. Step back 3. It's off. And the rebound by Dorian Finney-Smith. We recycle the possession. Dinwiddie fouled, and he can't get it to go, but it's going to be 2 free throws for Spencer. So, man, it's been such a weird, like, just generally speaking, it's been a really weird game. Really weird game. What's happened to Lonnie? Lonnie hurt his knee in the second quarter. So Yeah. Dinwiddie thought there was only one free throw. I don't know why he just forgot to count to two. I mean, he never took the first free throw, and here he is thinking he took one. Bit of short-term memory loss for Spence. He makes the second one though. It's down to an 8-point deficit for Washington on this possession. They will feed Koulibaly in the post. So they're playing small ball in the second half. Poole, oh what a dime! Finds Avdia on the roll, and it is down to 6. So they are well and truly here for the fight, even despite all those misses in the first half. Bridges, 1-on-1 with Kuzma, the cross, the elbow J, it's off, and the Wizards can cut it to potentially one single possession. Kuzma, shot, and the push shot is good. It's down to 4. So 7 minutes to play. Claxton will send it back out to Dinwiddie. The screen and roll by Clax. He doesn't get it. Johnson in the corner is going to take on Avdia. Go baseline and get the roll. Or the bounce, whatever the hell you want to say. It was a great angle created by Johnson there. Somehow was able to get that one in. Poole on the perimeter. He definitely was thinking about a 3. He's going to drive on Bridges. Have to roll it back out with 9 to shoot. The switch now has Dinwiddie guarding him. He feeds Kuzma in the post. Bridges switched onto him. Kuzma got rid of him, and he scores with the turnaround. So 60 to 56. Johnson picks up his dribble out of Bridges. They're going to feed Clax under the basket, and he scores for 2. He had the mismatch in Jordan Poole on him, and we're about to reach the halfway point of this third quarter. 62-56 the score. So Tyus Jones just going to slow down the tempo. 1-2 with Kuzma. He's going to drive and kick. Avdia on the catch. That is well short, well to the left. And now Bridges will drive on Poole. Shoot the fadeaway too. And that is good on the baseline. So we're going to get a timeout. And Mikal is, well, all things considered, he's doing a pretty good job of marshalling the Nets troops. 56-64. So it hasn't necessarily been a very high-scoring contest. We're just going to look at the box score here again. First, I'll update the player spotlight, but in the meantime, you can see the team for yourself. I don't think it's updated. It hasn't updated. There we go, it's updated now. Here we go. So, 6 points and not 46 points, 6 points and 10 rebounds for Claxton in this game. So a pretty good return. Mikal is shooting abysmally from 3, 10%. But inside the line, he's actually shooting the ball very efficiently. He's got 17 overall, and a number of players have started to score for the Nets, which has been sort of imperative. Given this is a low-scoring match, any contributions you can get are going to be key. And I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith hit a 3. Cam Johnson has hit a couple buckets in this quarter. Spencer has gotten to the free throw line. So getting a few handy contributions in there. We haven't turned the ball over yet in this quarter. The Wizards are doing well to hang around. They've had 9 less shots, but they have had 7 more free throws. And that's helping them in a game where they're getting out rebounded by 19. We've had 14 offensive rebounds already. Dayron's had 5 of those. He's got 6 and 9 off the bench in 11 minutes. So yeah, that's the situation right now. If we'll take a quick look at the Wizards box score, Avdia still leads the scoring for them. Kuzma's got 9 on pretty low efficiency, and Jordan Poole also has 9. Koulibaly off the bench with 9 as well. So doing pretty well at the moment, the Wizards to remain in reach. if you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days for Nets Magic, hopefully for the full stream and not an interrupted stream. So yeah, that is the deal. Mikal goes to the bench. So our leading scorer on the bench, Lonnie Walker, he may be in. He may actually be on the court. He is. Lonnie's back. Yes. We're running an all-bench unit. It is DSJ, Lonnie, Dayron Sharp, Royce, and Watford. It had to have been just a hard fall. That's a bad miss by the Wizards. O'Neal secures the rebound, and Lonnie in transition looks like he hasn't even been injured. O'Neal for three. It is off. And the long rebound by Dennis. So he's going to feed Watford on the baseline. Gafford's back into the game for the Wizards, who started but did not start the second half. Watford ball fake. Drive, the Euro, the push shot is good. And that is excellent offense by the Nets. That's what you're going to get out of Trendon Watford. So 5 minutes to play. The Nets have had 15 second chance points in this one to the Wizards 3. That's been a key part of the win at the moment. The lead, should I say. I probably just jinxed it and we're going to lose now. Lonnie Walker just lost the ball. Turnover. Jones on the drive. It's off. But there was Koulibaly for the follow. And it is back down to 8. Dennis on the drive. Looking for the alley-oop. That was absolutely not on. And now it's a fast break. Wizards have the numbers, but it was deflected out of bounds by Walker, who is sort of flexing the left leg a little bit. He's running pretty smoothly. It's just I mean, I just feel a little bit hesitant about it because, like, he looked like he was gone for weeks, having been on the ground that long. I mean, Cam Thomas wasn't even on the ground that long, and he's out for a couple weeks. Gafford on the drive. It was a good dump pass by the Wizards. It's back down to 6. Walker. Dennis. Oh my God, mate. Can he stop distributing the ball? He's just piffing it out of bounds on every possible possible opportunity. So, 4 minutes to play in the third. The Nets have had the lead, I would assume, the entirety of the way. 66-60, the drive. Kuzma, good verticality by Dayron, but we have another whistle. And it's going to be 2 more shots. Kuzma has made a living at the free throw line in this second half. Lonnie is back. Yes, sir. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days. There's also a donation button if you'd like to donate something small to the channel, which will go back into like all my subscription costs, which I use to bring the streams to you, and hopefully a new mic eventually as well. So those are the 2 goals of mine. Yeah. So Kuzma at the line, he made the first and he made the second. So getting a bit of success in the second half. The Nets bench has been renowned for playing quite well. But in this game, it's a little bit of a different story. We're not staggering the Mikal minutes with the bench, which has seen quite a bit of success. Dennis, bro, I hate this guy handling the rock. Watford just lost the ball. Dayron got it back, behind the back. Back to Watford, somehow ended up with it. He missed it. And a rebound for Shamet. So, former Nets legend, Landry Shamet. Kuzma, whoa, God. Another 2 shots coming up for the Wizards. It's Kuzma again. And, I mean, there's got to be a solution for this. Like, why is he rolling the bench with one of their starters? I mean, if this is the case and they're going to run Kuzma, then you have to run one of Finney-Smith or Mikal with Kuzma, because this has been far too easy in this second half. It's only a 3-point game. It really hasn't felt this tightly contested at all. So 3:14 to play in this third quarter. The Wizards can cut it to 2 with one more make by Kuzma, which he does convert. And now, well, the Wizards 8-0 run with the Nets bench unit in, who have been renowned for providing some good minutes. Lonnie has barely done anything in this game. He excellently maneuvers into the mid-range and scores for 2. So that's his first bucket of the game. He's been awfully quiet on the scoring front, which could not be said for the last 3 games. He's averaging 20. 3 for Shamet. He's open. He checks for the feet and he scores for 3. So the Wizards cut it down to 1. Shooting it well in this quarter, both teams, at least in comparison to the second quarter. Lonnie draws 2. The 3 by Dennis is good, and a good response by the Nets. DSJ has been pretty good shooting the ball in the last couple of games. He had 14 and 7 last time out. Kuzma in response, short on the 3. The rebound by Dennis, and Lonnie was there with the presence to knock it to him. Royce fakes the pass. I don't know who he was faking the pass to, but he gets it to Dayron, and now Lonnie will maneuver his way to his spot. He misses. Rebound by Dayron. Can't get the reverse layup, but there is a foul under the basket, and it is going to be 2 shots when we return at the 2-minute mark. So, wowzers. Alrighty. I'm so sick of DSJ, bro. I mean, this happens every time. We get pissed off at a player and then they decide to perform and score like a 3-pointer or something just to trigger that sense of doubt in our heads. Was that Lonnie that collapsed or Cody Waitman? I mean, I can envision Cody Waitman doing the exact same thing. If you don't know who I'm talking about because you're from America, then I understand. That is an Australian rules football player. So, yeah. Let's have a look at the box score. And it's good to see quite a few of you back in chat now. We're actually fully up and running for this stream because it was an absolute stinker. First, I woke up late, so I got to the stream late. And when I did, the computer decided, oh, yeah, we're going to take a good half an hour, 45 minutes to wake up as well. So it's good that we're finally operating as we should. The Wizards playing pretty well, though. They've hung around. They got heavily out-rebounded in the first quarter. They were down and looked fairly out. But in this second half, they've responded well. They've gotten to the free throw line as much as they can. Looked after the ball. And they haven't really gotten any scoring contribution. I don't know why it's not updating again. There we go. 14 for Avdia, 13 for Kuzma, 11 for Koulibaly. So that really rounds out the scoring. Jordan Poole also involved in that mix with 9. For the Nets, we have had 17 from Mikal, and a number of players are pushing... My voice is playing tricks. We've got a number of players pushing that 10-point mark. Mikal hasn't even scored this quarter, which is... I guess it's a good sign, but at the same time... Well, I think he has scored. He scored like 1 bucket, but... I guess it's a good sign that we're scoring without him scoring, and obviously no Cam Thomas. Lonnie has only scored 2 points off the bench, so we're getting contributions elsewhere. We've out-rebounded them by 23, but the problem is we've had 13 turnovers to their 6, so they're getting quite a few extra possessions because of that. Dayron Sharp has 7 offensive rebounds, so pretty cool stuff. We will be back in a couple of days' time, as you can see, though, by the top right-hand corner. So if you want to stay tuned, you know what to do. Alrighty. So it's going to be free throws, and it's going to be Dayron Sharp at the free throw line. Clax is getting ready to check in. He's at the scorer's table, but I would imagine we're waiting for the next dead ball so there can be a straight Dayron Claxton swap. Dayron scores free throw number 1. So 5 on the floor at the moment. Dayron, Cam Johnson, who's checked in, Lonnie, Royce, and Dennis, with the potential for Claxton to return in a few moments' time. Dayron makes both. So is it a really good game today? 8 and 11 a couple games ago against LA. He had 11 and 10 with 4 offensive rebounds. Poole gonna have to take on Dayron here. Now the switch. Gallinari, ball fake, stops, props, and misses to the right. Gallinari is like an infamous Nets killer. One of. Lonnie to Dennis. Out to Johnson on the opposite wing. Smith. Drive. Stops. The turnaround. And that is off. Well short. Rebound. Wizards. Poole. Pass to Shamet, who goes into the paint. Tipped by Lonnie. But Gallinari is able to resecure. Royce doubles. And then we navigate that well. Oh my god, how is that a foul? Nothing you can do in that situation. It's going to be 2 free throws for Gallo. Mikal stats. Did you see him at the break? If not, let me know. So, first free throw is good. Claxton now returns as expected. Okay. Second free throw for Gallinari is good. It's a 4-point game. And it's been hovering at this margin for quite some time. The Wizards never really able to get over the hump. Dennis to CJ. Bounce pass to Clax. The spin. The hook shot is good. And I hope we can see quite a bit of that this season. Obviously, against the more physical centers, it's going to be a little bit harder to get those shots up. Poole fading away for 3. That's off. Gafford got hands to it, but the net's secure. And now Dennis had gotten ahead of the pack. He holds it up, rolled it back out to Lonnie Walker for 3, and it is back up to a 9-point lead. I can take this going into 3/4 time because we were up by only 8 at the half. So to outscore them in this quarter would be considered a success. Kispert bounce pass to Shamet on the 3. It's good. And Shamet's been pretty good for them. Their bench, generally speaking, has been putting in some good minutes. So Nets will hold for 1. Lonnie at the logo, picked up by Shamet. High screen Clax. Lonnie had CJ open for a moment. Instead, he's going to take it himself. Be well short on the 3. And Poole gets a shot up, which he nearly converted. Did hit the rim. But that is going to do it for 3/4. We've got 1 to go. And it is a 6-point lead the Nets will have to protect going into the final 12 minutes of this contest. We look at the statistics. I'm going to need to update the scores first. Let's go to the Nets because we don't care about Washington. Mikal only the 2 points in the quarter. Claxton pretty good in this game, as you can see by the player spotlight. He's got 8 and 10. He's also got a block and a dime. Dayron off the bench with 11 boards. Mikal is pushing 10 rebounds. Dennis Smith has been pretty good handling the rock, even though he's turned it over 3 times and very carelessly. He's hit 2 threes. He's got 8 and 6 off the bench. Last game, he had 11 and 7, so he's pushing a similar mark there. Lonnie Walker's shooting 2 of 8, so not an efficient game by his standards. He was shooting 57% from the field in the 3 games before this one. O'Neal has got 9, and outside of that, the starters haven't really had much of a bearing on the game, but we're going to need them to contribute heavily in order for a win to be achieved. In that quarter, I mean, the Nets scored 29, gave up 31 in that quarter. So Wizards got to the free throw line a fair bit. They've had 20 free throws in the game at the half. I think they were at like 12 or 13 maybe. So they've gotten to the line a fair bit. We haven't really forced too many turnovers. Wizards still shooting it poorly. We're shooting it fractionally better from both the field and 3-point land, but the free throws are keeping them alive, and so are the turnovers that we've been committing, 13-6. So in order to win this game, the Nets are going to have to get a stranglehold on those two key stats. Don't get them to the line, protect that, and also look after the basketball. Did a better job in that third quarter. When the bench unit came in, that's really where the turnovers came in and started to rise. But we only had 3 that quarter, which isn't too bad. That's not a bad pace. That's just that's just in line with our season average, which is like 13. Anyway, play resumes with 3 bench players plus Cam Johnson and Nic Claxton. Dennis, how has he missed that back? Claxton with the putback dunk. Ugh. I don't know how Dennis missed that layup. He did an excellent job to get to the spot and beat his defender to the basket. But Claxton was there for the putback anyway, so a miss was not punished. Gallinari going to back down Johnson. He's got 2 to shoot. He gets it up, and that is a score. So Gallo knocked down his last couple of shots. Dennis, good cut by Johnson. 1 more for O'Neal, ready to trigger, and he was off. So a good find by CJ, but Royce got to knock those down. Shamet is blocked by Claxton. And he was almost in the crowd. I mean, he had to get a fair run-up to get that block. So, Wizards will recycle, but obviously without the benefit of the shot clock resetting. That 3 is off by Koulibaly and a rebound by O'Neal. Dennis, early offense. Johnson on the catch. That's so short. My God. He's been well and truly off in this game. Avdia picks up his dribble, gives it to Kispert. Good switch. Gallinari is now going to post up Royce. The pass for Kispert. Close out by Lonnie. And it's a blocking foul. Dennis will pick it up. And he got hit in the nose, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's been elbowed right in the schnoz. It's going to be 2 shots though. DSJ is fine. He's a bit of a tough nut, so those things won't deter him. Speaking of deterring, Mr. Whammy's under the basket and wasn't able to deter Kispert on that first free throw. Let's see if the second provides a little bit more reward. It does not. Kispert makes both. And it is now a 4-point game. So Dennis will handle the rock, give it to Clax at the top of the key, and now Walker will pass to Royce, get it back, spin, back out again to Royce. Think we need to get Mikal in soon. Bro, Dennis, what are you doing? Where are you passing it? You're passing it to a 12-footer. Oh my God, another foul and they score it. Koulibaly for 2. He's got 1 more as well. O'Neal with the foul. And bro, Dennis, he's just throwing the ball away, man. I think we need to get Dinwiddie back in right now. Because, bro, these DSJ turnovers have been just as unbearable as the Royce O'Neal 3s that he misses all the time on a regular basis. Koulibaly's off on the free throw. And so it's a 2-point game. We can live with that. Dennis to Johnson. Oh my God, another turnover. Avdio with the read. The layup is off. And Johnson couldn't get the board. Kispert did. And it's all tied up. And we have a timeout. Really hasn't felt like this game is as close as what it actually is. Cam Johnson with the masterclass for the Wizards. Well, I can't blame him for that. He did have 2 hands to the ball, though, so he should have secured that rebound. Best believe if it was the other way and we had 3 players under the basket and they had 1, they would still get the rebound. It's 80 apiece. And if we look at the box score, you'll see that it isn't updated. So let's do this again. Voice crack. Nice. This is what's going on. I am in a little bit of awe as to how Spencer Dinwiddie has only gotten 21 minutes. And Dennis Smith, who has had 4 turnovers with a negative 10 plus minus, is still on the court, having played only 2 minutes less. Yeah, I don't really have words. I'd rather have Watford handle the rock, to be quite honest. Cam Johnson is shooting like trash. Even still, he is a +1 in the plus minus. Claxton has a double-double on return. He's got 10 points, 11 rebounds, and he has also got the 2 blocks to his name. So he's been pretty good on return, but Mikal's been on the bench for a while. Even Dorian Finney-Smith. How has Dorian Finney-Smith got less minutes than Royce? I mean, Royce hasn't been awful, but I want a little bit more physicality, especially when we're conceding so many free throws. The Wizards have had 8 less shots. They have scored 2 less threes. They have had 14 more free throws. They've been out-rebounded by 23, but yet are still in this game because of the 15 turnovers they've forced. So we're really got to knuckle down here because I think we're taking this game we took that lead for granted. I think I also took the lead for granted. And I've also been as complacent as they are. So 80 apiece. Both teams can win this, but you would hope that with our performances in recent games, we'd well and truly show up in the closing. We've got a long way to go here. 9:40 to play in this one. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Magic. It is going to be the 3rd in-season tournament game. We'll be starting that one hopefully on time, unlike the stream that we have done today. Dayron's on the floor. Mikal is back. So is Dinwiddie. No Finney-Smith though. Royce remains. Bridges, drive. 3 to shoot. Got to get it up. Shoots over Gallinari. It's off. And it's off the Wizards. It is off the Wizards. Thank you. Really struggling to speak. So, Nets ball. Dayron fighting on the glass again. Ball is inbounded to Dayron now. Hand off to Bridges. Can't shake off the defender with the screen. It's going to be a foul on the floor. Very good defense by Shamet. Staying with him laterally. So Mikal will probably be the focal point of the Nets offense down the stretch. I mean, he was in the first half. Had 17 shots. Or 18 shots. He's only had 3 in this half. Dinwiddie. Dayron. Oh my God, he's airballed the hook shot. The Wizards can take the lead. Kispert 1-2 with Gallinari. The 3 over Sharp is off. And a rebound by Bridges. So we've really got to reinforce a lead here. Bridges cannot make the 3. That is another miss. He is 1 of 11. And now Washington can retake the lead on the second attempt. Koulibaly is off on the mid-range. So that's the second try to take the lead. The Wizards don't take the opportunity. Dinwiddie in the corner. He's got Koulibaly picking him up. And now Johnson. It's going to be a 3-second call. I don't know who that's on. I think it's on Avdia. And it's going to be free throws for your boy. I'll look at the chat in a minute. Apologies, guys. It's a technical free throw for Mikal. I think Avdia had a foot inside the paint, the restricted area, and Mikal knocks down the free throw. So, Mikal has a double-double, 10 rebounds, I believe 20 points, 18 points, sorry. So he will be the inbounder. He gets it from Dayron. One more. Dayron can't complete it. I just lost my voice for a moment there. Jesus, what the hell happened there? Avdia can give him the lead. Dayron blocked it, saved it. Oh, you're kidding me. That was a laser feed, except to the wrong team. Koulibaly was under the basket right there. It was an excellent defensive play by Dayron. He blocked it, saved it, just didn't complete the pass to the right player. Wizards have the lead. O'Neal, turn, push shot, is short, and we have a foul on Kispert. 2 free throws for Royce. Like, such a good block. He's just thrown it directly into the noggin of Koulibaly. If he didn't do a blind pass, he probably would have been able to find one of ours, but at the line is O'Neal. I don't think he's taken a free throw this year. And it shows because he misses the first. So 80-81. Second free throw is good. So it's all tied up. Nets have got to get some stops here and actually keep the scoreboard ticking. Mikal's going to have a big role to play down the stretch. Avdia was fouled by O'Neal on the reach. So 16 to shoot. 7:27 a play. 82 apiece. Nets had a 15-point lead at quarter time. The Wizards have slowly gotten that lead down. Avdia for 3. It's well off. And a rebound for Dayron Sharp. Bridges. Picked up by Avdia. Screen by Dayron. Bridges the fall away 2. It's off. And a rebound by Kispert. Mikal has been well off. We have not scored a field goal in 5 minutes. Kispert, the block by Dayron. Get that shit out of there. Finney Smith, early offense. The 3 is off. And Royce fights and saved it. But yet again, we find the Wizards on the save. And Koulibaly's open. He has been killing us. 85-82. He's been knocking down his shots in a game where not many have. Dinwiddie the response, that is off. Bridges goes again. That's off. Rebound Wizards. The amount of misses by this Nets team from the outside, we have shot ourselves in the foot. We have not scored in nearly half a quarter from the field. Avdia to Shamet. It's a 3-point game. They got 5 to shoot. Avdia going to drive. Lost the ball. That is a joke of a foul. They've absolutely plucked that one out of nowhere, and with 6:09 to play, they get bailed out. They had 3.5 to shoot. There's got to be an emphasis on just driving it to the cup. Claxton returns, possibly trying to, fill that need. Can we send Royce to the bench, please? We need some offense. I'd like to see Lonnie down the stretch here. But I don't think we're going to see him. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. You're calling these rubbish fouls. Just absolutely nothing in it. Like, that is a foul. That is something that happens about 500 times in a game. So it's going to be free throws. They're in the bonus now. So we can talk about winning this game once we can actually start making some shots. We've had one field goal make, I reckon, in this quarter. It was 70... No, it was... What was it? 80 to 72 at three-quarter time? And since that point, we've been ice cold. So Mikal, bro, he's got to make a basket, man. We feed Clax, and the pass is not on, but there is a foul, and that is also soft, mate. Referees really trigger happy with the whistle, and like that is, where's the foul there? And I'm a Nets supporter, and I'm even arguing the point that that should not ever be a foul. Cam Johnson is back in. Finney Smith to the bench. I forgot Cam Johnson existed, to be honest. I'm so used to those lineups without CJ, having been out for so long. Claxton. Bridges. O'Neal. Leaves it for Mikal. That's a great pass. And he knocks down the three. Finally, he gets one to go. Bloody hell. He has been as bad as Royce from the three-point line in that one game against Boston. That game is living rent-free. Avdia misses the three. Claxton the rebound. The Nets can tie or take the lead. Let's make it a good shot. Bridges. I'd take a two here. I don't want a three-pointer. Bridges. Johnson shoots a three. Oh, come on, man. As I've just said, stop shooting the ball. 2 of 14 in the quarter. Absolutely abysmal. Koulibaly maneuvers through, turned it over, went off someone's foot. It's a 3-on-1 fast break. You can't screw this up. And Johnson scores for 2, and we have a timeout. About time we start scoring. Let's have a look at the chat. 5 minutes to play. It's all tied up. Let's have a look. What are people saying? OT? Hala Madrid is adamant that it's going to be OT. In case you didn't know, he's said it about 6 times. Oh, mate. The Twins playing like they want out of the Nets. I mean, Mikal's getting the chance here to really capitalize. It's like Jacques wants us to lose by playing Royce and DSJ for 45 minutes. I 100% agree. He's missing shots and making turnovers like it's a 9 to 5. I'm assuming you're talking about DSJ. The problem is that JV doesn't show trust in young players. I mean, I'm interested to see who you're talking about. Because there's not really any young players on our team today that haven't gotten playing time if there's any young players, to be honest. This is the scoring outlook, and it's not exactly pleasant viewing. No, it's not, because it hasn't fucking updated. Here we go. The Nets, Mikal's got 21. Claxton has got 10 and 12 in his return game. Cam Johnson's been shit. Mikal has been so bad. Efficiency-wise, my goodness. Excuse me. Dayron's had 7 offensive rebounds. He's been awesome off the bench. And of course, you've got the typical O'Neal minutes. I'm pretty sure JV wants Royce to be the 6th man of the year. Unfortunately, that's not possible, JV, because your player sucks. Yeah. Dorian Finney-Smith hasn't been that decent either. I'd rather him on the floor, though, to be honest, than O'Neal. Dinwiddie with 8. He hasn't really done much in this game either. There's been a whole lot of nothing in this one. We've turned the ball over way too much. We haven't gotten to the free throw line nearly enough, and we're shooting the ball badly. Luckily enough, there is a team that happens to be just as bad, if not worse than us. I feel like we should be up by 20. It does feel like this, man. It doesn't even feel like... It just doesn't feel like a game that is all tied up. I'm way too unenthusiastic. It's probably because it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not really that G'd up. And it's probably because of all the events this morning and me waking up late, missing the start of the stream, then the stream being shit for half a game. Poole. Step back 3. Oh my God. It's good. And I'm a bit scared. Not going to lie. It's a 3-point game. We actually lose to the Wizards, bro. Bridges. Oh my God, bro. He's got to stop shooting the 3, man. He's 2 of 14. We actually could be screwed over here. It's a good roll by Kuzma. And if you have Dorian Finney-Smith, he's not maneuvering around him that easily. That was way too easy. We've got to ensure that we remain composed, but it would start by actually driving the ball like Bridges does here. He kicks it back out to O'Neal. Johnson for 3. This team has well and truly shot themselves in the foot here. I don't want to see any JV firing proposals by anyone in chat because this team has just sucked. Poole misses the 3. That could have been really big. Would have been an 8-point lead with 3.5 to go, and given we haven't scored 8 in about 15 years, I've aged a full lifetime since we actually last decently scored the ball. I wouldn't have backed us in to chase up an 8-point deficit in 3.5 minutes, but it's a 2-possession game. 92-87 the score. 3:25 to go. And Finney-Smith is finally back in, but guess what? They've taken... Bro, what the hell is O'Neal doing to stay in the game? He's been on the floor for like 15 minutes, bro. Who's on the bench now? Who do they send? Claxton? I've no idea. Johnson in the corner. Keeps on firing, and this time he knocks it down. And I think we have another timeout. So, it's a 2-point game. It's going to require some stops on the defensive end. And that's weird to say given we've only scored 92 points. Our awesome bench this year might say more about our awful starting 5. I mean, starting 5 has proven time and time again to actually let us down. Which is really weird, that dynamic. We'll be okay, don't get negative. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit hard to be positive in this game. We've only scored 90 points against a shit Wizards team. And we've out-rebounded them by above 20. How are we still... Like, how is this still a game? Man played fire against Milwaukee and shutting against the Wizards. I mean, we've got to drive it. Like, how many threes does this team want to take? You haven't been hitting them all day. Drive it. Until JV is fired, I have no hope, bro. I mean, that's probably a little bit over the top, I would imagine. This is what the team looks like without Ben and Cam Thomas. I mean, I can argue that some of the shots Ben would have, Ben makes up a lot of our offense. Like, he dictates the pace, he creates open looks. It's not really that surprising. A lot of casuals will think by the stats he's doing nothing, but he does a lot. And Cam Thomas, well, we needed his shot creation in a game like this. Avdia is blocked. I can't even speak again. They recycle the possession. The 3 is off. Claxton gets the rebound. Big block, big rebound. He's rim running as well. He opens up the floor for Johnson. Oh my God, mate. Stop shooting. Mikal gets the steal. Clax chases it up. Bridges, layup. Got it. Oh, God. It should not be this difficult. So 2 minutes to play. Jones lets the clock roll a bit. Koulibaly playing at the 5. He's just thrown it out of bounds. Bit of miscommunication. I think he was looking for Avdia to come at the ball carrier just a little bit. Instead, he just threw it out of play. Wizards piling up the turnovers in recent time. And Mikal's going to the line. Nets are in the bonus. Quick foul by Poole. Man, that was a... Claxton's come up big in the last 2 minutes with a rebound, a block, and he was able to complete that deflection by Mikal, get that steal. And now with 2:03 to play, Mikal at the line. All we need to do is just get through this game with a win. Oh my God. The Jinx Master is back at it. Mikal has taken the most field goal attempts in a game in his career today with 28, which is pretty nuts. We retake the lead. We're up 1. And it's going to... Well, we're going to need to see more of the same that we've seen in the last minute or two. Just stops. Straight up. Good defense, Claxton. Stays with Poole, forces the pass. Poole gets it back. Dinwiddie with the steal. Claxton, excellent job. It was a 3-on-2, but we're just going to hold for a better possession. But I don't like our half-court offense today. I don't like it generally. Mikal's got to hold. He cannot turn the ball over. Behind the back, into the paint. He's going to back down Poole, get to his spot. The turnaround is good. And with 1.5 to play, it is a timeout. An 8-0 run, and the Nets have the lead back. They are up 3, so we're in a much better position. It has been the stops, and it has been Nic Claxton. If you want to trade Claxton, this is proof of why you have to have him in your team. Jordan Poole wanted a shot, but every time Claxton was cutting off that outlet for Poole to drive it, and it got to the point where Poole would have to give it off, and it became so predictable. Dinwiddie could read the pass, get in the lane, and get the steal, get another possession, and Mikal just went to work on Jordan Poole. So, smarter possession by the Nets, good defense. So, we've got a bit of time remaining in this one. 90 seconds left. If you are enjoying, drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back in 48 hours for Nets and the Magic, the 3rd in-season tournament game of the year. We are 1-1 in that regard. Thus far. Win against the Bulls, a loss against the Celtics last time out. So a win today would, have us back at 500. Would be 5-5, but obviously we can't say that yet. The Wizards use one of their final 2 timeouts allocated to them in the final 3 minutes. So the Wizards will inbound the ball from the wing. Now Jones will get it to Poole. Kuzma, close out by Johnson. That's in. It's off. Rebound, Bridges. And we can get the breathing space we need with another make. And I beg it's not a 3. A 2 would get us into a 2-possession game. Bridges drives, lost the ball, and the Wizards force a turnover. Avdia the pass to Kuzma. Layup, block! I mean, I'm not waving goodbye. I'm just saying, not in my house, buddy. Not in my house. Well, not my house. Not in Claxton's house, dude. This guy's unreal, mate. They've got 18 to shoot still. We're in the final minute. Kuzma for 3. It's off. Rebound Johnson. Just hold. Just hold. We absolutely would have gotten a get out of jail free card if we win this game. Dinwiddie's doubled. Johnson back out to Dinwiddie. We need a score. Dinwiddie the driving kick. O'Neal cross court for Johnson. Drive. Layup is good. And it's a 2-possession game with 30 seconds to play. We have a timeout. And we, to put it into context, had not scored in 6 minutes a field goal. And in the last 2.5 minutes, on the back of some excellent defense, we have gone on a 10-0 burst after trailing by 5 a few minutes ago. And the Wizards had the ball as well. They missed the 3-pointer. That could have put them up 8. You know, so it could have been dire viewing for the Nets, but we've responded. Claxton has spearheaded this 10-0 run. A very late game run, but a run nonetheless. And like Clax started it with a block and a rebound. Then he's gone and picked up a steal. Then he's gotten another block. Like he's come up huge down the stretch. And let's just box score check it. Claxton's he's been awesome, man. He's been incredibly good. He's got 4 blocks in this game. And I mean, I don't know where we would be without him. So 4 blocks, the 13 rebounds to go with 10 points. He's had a colossal performance today. That is exactly what we want. We'll go back to the box score post-game. We are out rebounding him by 24. The Wizards went on a 15-2 run of their own in the last quarter, which correlates with that scoring drought. What the hell were they trying there? They tried an alley-oop, and that has to be a take foul. Has to be a take foul. They're fouled. We had a pass over the top. That has to be a take foul. So from the inbounds, they've tried to launch it for an alley-oop, and it's just ricocheted off the backboard. That clearly is a take foul. Dinwiddie's let Bridges in on a path to the basket. No one was in our half court except Bridges. Dinwiddie was fouled after he let it go to Bridges, and Poole committed it. So that's going to put the game to bed, you would think. That has to 100% be a personal foul. That is a take. So it'd be 2 plus the ball. I don't think the Wizards will foul because they don't have a timeout left either. Bro, what are they even looking at? It's so undisputed. Bridges is 5 feet ahead of the Wizards line. Defensive line. It's so clear. We had an easy 2 right there. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Show your support. It's a clear path. 2 shots in the ball. That'll well and truly put the game to bed. 97-92 is currently the score. We could crack the ton. And look, the Wizards they're just not good enough. Why is it so bright in my room? So, it's going to be 2 shots in the ball for the Nets. With how long to play? 27. So Dinwiddie at the line will make the first. And he'll make the second. The Wizards will have the ball. No, we will have the ball, sorry. Lonnie is back in. Claxton to the bench. I assume the Wizards will... Well... I assume the Wizards will probably shoot a 3. And if they do score, they will intentionally foul. So I like us sending Claxton back to the bench. But let's just see how this has gone. Because this has been one hell of a confusing game. We had a period in the fourth quarter where we didn't score for 6 minutes, yet we've only been outscored by 1 in the quarter. Sorry, we've actually outscored them in the quarter, which is just baffling to me. You can see we have had Cam Johnson and Mikal combined for 4 of 25 from 3 and have still got the lead. Don't ask me how this has happened. Shooting the ball poorly as well. Like, on the back of those two shooting it badly, we are 25% from 3, and that's actually overstating it. We're 24.5%. The big thing is we've had 20 offensive rebounds. That's been huge. We've had 3 players with 12 or more boards, and this is in a game where we've had 18 turnovers. Mind you, the Wizards had about 7 turnovers until the halfway point of the last quarter. Our defense knuckled down, and it is now up to 12. They have only hit 10 threes of their own at an equally bad rate. Gotten to the free throw line, but that number has slowly dwindled. Over the course of the game, we've been more disciplined. They took quite a few threes when they had the chance to get the lead up. We've got to inbound it, and we got another timeout. I just realized the Wizards don't have the ball, so bringing in or taking off Claxton was a perfect idea. We're using our final timeout. We couldn't get the ball inbounded. For the Wizards, they have not had a score more than 18, but Koulibaly's been really good for them. 4 steals to go with 18 and 7. I mean, that's one for the future. That's their number one. First round draft pick right there. You want to see, a bit of reward for drafting these sorts of players. And that is a player of huge upside. Jordan Poole hasn't really been that great. He's only taken the 12 shots after you took the most shots today with 18, and Kuzma was awful. I mean, even a bang average game by Kuzma and Poole would have got it done. I mean, granted, Jordan Poole did play bang average. But like, the fact we've only had 10 more shots is a bit baffling to me, having out-rebounded them by 24. So the ball will be inbounded by Royce on the baseline. No, not on the baseline, on the sideline. O'Neal, Bridges, Johnson, Dinwiddie, and one other on the floor. We get it to Bridges. He is closed down, and they nearly got the steal. That's got to be a foul. Thank you. So the foul is committed after 7 seconds of the clock running. Both teams without a timeout now. So that didn't look too convincing by the Nets, but we were able to get it inbounded. And we will be able to amazingly break the 100-point mark with 1 make. Bridges gets it to go, and there is the ton right there. Claxton has to be my player of the game today. He's been superb. And he's also in my fantasy team, so holding him actually, well, it's rewarding. Let's just say that. Bridges is off. I think that's going to be Nets ball. Yep, Nets ball. Bridges missed the second, but it went off hands, of multiple hands, and the Nets will be able to inbound it with a 3-second difference between shot and game. So O'Neal will bring it in. 2. That's going to be a foul on Jordan Poole. And mind you, I reckon that was well poised to be a turnover if Poole wasn't holding him. Yep, there was a bit of a grab there on the arm and the jumper. Tyus Jones was there, ready to swoop on it. But unfortunately, it is going to be Nets free throws. So just like that, the lead is back up to, well, 10 with 2 makes here. And the first one is good by Spencer. I don't know why it is so bright on my camera. The exposure is so high. And the second is good. So there you go. 10-point lead. We've gone on a 15-0 run in the last 3 minutes. Koulibaly coasts to the rim for 2. We get it inbounded to Royce. They obviously blitz us. We've got to get it over half court. And we're just going to let the clock run down. So we actually win. Oh my God, we go to 5-5. But boy, oh boy, was it unconvincing. 102-94 the final. We will do a little bit of a box score check and then we will close things out. Much love to Claxton Lonnie. Lonnie didn't even do anything today. Shout out to our bigs for cooking on the glass. That was imperative. Dayron, very impactful in limited minutes. So our big man rotation actually isn't that bad, but we got the job done. If you're leaving now, make sure to drop a like on the way out and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back in 48 hours. But we will look at the box score real quick, and then we will obviously wrap things up. Fun fact, last game, the Hornets were out rebounding the Wizards by 31. Mark Williams had 15 offensive rebounds by himself. So I think the rebounding, this disparity was bound to happen. It was just a matter of how much. Overall, you can see 20 offensive rebounds for the Nets. Didn't shoot the ball well, but that really helped. We had Mikal, Cam Johnson, and Spencer Dinwiddie, 3 starters combine for 4 of 30. Now, I'm no good at maths, but my calculator will be able to help out here. 4 divided by 30 is 13%. On 30 attempts, 13%. That is shithouse. Shit. Claxton was essential to a win today. Cam Johnson, despite also being pretty shit, was a plus 15. So the starters got the job done today. Mikal led the way with 27 on pretty bad efficiency. He was good inside the line. If you remove the 3-point shooting, ignore that, he was very good inside the line. But then the 3-pointers on top, he's trying to shoot his way out of a slump, and it just is not going down for him in this one. Or in the recent stretch of games, 2 of 14. Cam Johnson, 2 of 11, shooting very poorly from the field. Claxton was the number 1 performer today. Had some big defensive stops down the stretch. Ends with 10 and 13, 4 offensive boards, and most importantly, the 4 blocks. The turnovers were at 18, so not a healthy number there. The bench was not too bad. I would have liked to see Trenton Watford minutes over DSJ. If you want Dennis to facilitate the offense, you might as well give it to Watford because he has the capability and you've got a bit more size there. He only played the 9 minutes, Trenton. Dayron Sharp was good, as we've mentioned, 8 and 12, 7 offensive boards in only 19 minutes. And Lonnie Walker had his quietest game of the year. That was his first game of the season when he does play, where he has less than 10 points. Before then, he had gone 8 consecutive games with double-digit scoring. So really good to see that we were able to get it done with Mikal having a bad shooting performance. Lonnie Walker barely scoring. Cam Thomas obviously out. Ben Simmons, the facilitator of your offense, also out. A number of players shooting badly. But still, we were able to find the stops down the stretch. We went on a 15-2 run in the final 3 or so minutes when we were down 5. We could have been down 8. A missed 3 by the Wizards let us off the hook, and we were able to close things out. And I don't know if you can hear that. That's an alarm. And that probably should have gone off about 10 minutes ago because, I mean, the alarm bells were ringing in this live stream because, you know, yeah, and on the bench as well. I mean, the alarm bells would have been ringing. How have we gotten the Wizards back in this game? And what are we going to do to get it done? We haven't made a field goal for 6 minutes. How are we going to get out of this little 5-point hole, 5-point deficit in the final couple of minutes? Where's the resolve going to arrive? When's the resolve going to arrive? And we did see that resolve. Claxton, as I said, huge. I don't want to see him in trade discussions ever. And it's not because I just have this attachment to him, because I really enjoy watching him play. He's one of those players where he does more of the intangible stuff. He's a very passionate player. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff that got us the win today. The defensive aspect of the game. So, yeah, we've got Orlando in a couple of days' time. We're going to need to be better, 100%. But the good thing is that we are nearly at full strength. Lonnie Walker did not. He went down injured, but he did return. So I expect him to be back. We may rest him for that Orlando game, but we've got a nice little weekend break at the end of the week. So maybe we hold out until then and give him the rest he needs in that little period. Fun fact, though, Mikal took the most shots that he's ever taken in a game in his career. 29. So, I mean, if that isn't the definition to handing the keys to a certain player in your, you know, for your offense, I don't know what does. So Mikal's getting more responsibility with Cam Thomas and Lonnie Walker not playing well. Cam Thomas out, Lonnie Walker not playing well. So, I mean, he's going to learn from this. I think he just needs to take more mid-range shots and drive it because of those long strides of his and his mid-range game. He's pretty good in both of those areas. He's got to use that. I'm happy with him taking like 5 to 8 threes, but right now, taking 14 threes when your shot isn't falling is not the way to go. If we look at it from an opposition perspective, you can see that they got out rebounded. Their turnovers weren't too bad, but they didn't look after it at the most important stage of the game where they needed to secure the lead. They shot the ball pretty poorly. They got a good 20 points from Bilal Coulibaly. But outside of that, Jordan Poole didn't do too much in this one. And Kyle Kuzma in 31 minutes was a negative 29. So their starters weren't that good. It was really their bench that got him back in the game. And capitalized on all those misses that we were seeing on the offensive end. So overall, pretty good. Tyus Jones did nothing. He was on the floor for 23 minutes and had nearly straight donuts. And they played Gafford off the bench in the second half because they wanted to play small. That was smart with Coulibaly playing so well. But that being said, way too many missed shots if you're looking at it from a Wizards perspective. If you're shooting 37% and 24% from 3, you're not going to win games full stop. But on top of that, if you're getting out rebounded by 24, you're not going to win either. We've seen that over the course of the Nets era, or multiple Nets eras, where if you get out rebounded, which has been a very common trend of ours, if you don't score the ball well and you don't look after the basketball, the Wizards didn't do too bad of a job in that regard. But as we said, down the stretch, they started turning the ball over and getting out rebounded and missing all those shots. It's never going to end well, and that's why we went on a 15-2 run. So yeah, that was good to see. Good to see some resolve. Also, really good to see you guys in the chat. Let's just have a look at what you people are saying. Great win at the end. It's a good season until now. I mean, 5-5, I take that, and we could be 6-5 after 11 with so many injuries. Credit to us. Was that the Wizards' closest game this year? It probably was, you know, and we can actually just take a look at that. I'm also going to check the team stats real quick credit to you guys for hanging around as well. Thank you very much. You can see that the fast break points, 21-11, so they actually outdid us in that area. We led by as much as 17. The Wizards got it out to 5 with 3 minutes to go. That was their largest lead of the game. Points in the paint, pretty even. Points off turnovers, 28-16, so we punished in that regard. The Wizards had 14 steals. So in the open, we were turning the ball over in some really damaging areas. Very, very fortunate to not have been punished more so. You can see the shooting stats are incredibly similar. Even despite both teams shooting incredibly badly, they're still very similar in terms of field goal percentage. Let's just see what's their record. You can see on the side here. So they started losing to the Pacers. They beat Memphis, got flogged by Boston. This would be their closest loss of the year. They've had a couple 7-point losses, but yeah. And we can also just look at our schedule. Shit, I looked at the wrong schedule. Our schedule. Here we go. So you can see, after Washington, we've got Orlando, Miami, Philly, Atlanta, Miami, Chicago, and then Toronto to round out the month of November. We're going to be doing, I'd like to say, nearly every single one of these games, if not all of these games, we're going to be streaming on this channel. So if you want to stay notified, make sure to turn on the notifications as well. Hopefully for that Philly game, I'm seeing it's a 7 a.m. start time for me. So hopefully we don't have the same problems that we had today in terms of me rocking up late because I slept through my alarm and then the stream deciding to take 50 years to wake up. So yeah, it seemed like we took 50 years, the Nets did, to wake up as well because like the shooting was so shit. Also, I've just noticed LeBron James is out for the first half of the season. A left calf contusion will rub him out for the first half of the season. Oh, sorry, no, first game of the season. Whoops, I read that wrong. Take everything that I said for the last 30 seconds back. I'm spitting misinformation. Ignore me. So yeah, that is the deal. That was my 6:30 alarm. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I probably got the number 6 and the number 9 confused. So I don't know what was going on there. But at least we got a good stream in the end. Like, we actually got it up and running. 31 minutes for Royce is blasphemous. I'm going to use that word more often. Blasphemy. I'm going to use that so many times now. I mean, to primarily talk about Royce's game. I do want to see, though, Claxton only played 28 minutes. The Yes Network is pointing out. So, obviously, you understand, given he's been out for 8-9 games, only getting 28 minutes, but you saw the impact he had when he was playing. So, he needs to, hit upwards of 30. It was good that Dayron off the bench, in the minutes that Clax wasn't playing, in the 19 minutes that he did play Dayron, it was good to see that he was well and truly holding his own. So I think until Clax reaches full fitness, we'll probably look to benefit from Dayron's minutes, but that's not always going to be consistent. It's not always going to be we can't always rely on those minutes. So yeah, given Dayron's a bit inconsistent, sometimes he'll perform, sometimes he doesn't. I mean, we saw that in the Celtics game. He barely got any time. I don't even think he scored. So like it was good minutes by Dayron. But I want to see Clax probably play 34 minutes a night on a regular basis. It's going to be interesting to see when Ben returns what the minute staggering is going to look like if they both start, if one comes off the bench. I think they're way too good to both, like for one of them to have to have a seat on the bench. I think there's a way it can work. Um, what else in the chat? What's your ideal starting five with everyone healthy? Great question. Let's go. And in response, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let's see what your starting five is with everyone fully fit and firing. I'm gonna say it is Claxton, Bridges, Cam Thomas, and my opinion on CT has changed. Cam Thomas has to start. Because Lonnie Walker essentially is the sixth man that I was expecting Cam Thomas to be. So it'll be Cam Thomas, Bridges, Claxton. And then it becomes a toss-up of Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, Finney Smith, and Cam Johnson. I'm very interested to see what your thoughts are on this. I'm going to say I actually would be for Cam Johnson coming off the bench and Finney Smith starting. For the moment, at least, based off current form. And I would have Ben. So I think my five would be Ben. So yeah, Ben, Claxton, Finney Smith, Cam Thomas, Bridges. I think that's a good five. I think Finney Smith you need for the physical element, and given he's knocking down threes now, I think he's going to be, well, a quality player for us. It's just a little bit interesting because, like, in the games he was successful, he was a small ball five and because of him being a small ball five, the center had to face the dilemma of whether to guard the interior or, protect the outside. And that's why Finney Smith was getting so many open looks and knocking them down. Playing as a four, there's less inclination for a four to guard the interior when you've got the five manning the middle. So would he get as many open looks? Probably not. So maybe he goes to the bench and Cam Johnson is a little bit better because he can handle the rock a little bit. The shot will fall for him, and it will for Bridges as well. Today I just see as a really off night by a lot of players, and the fact we still got the W is a huge bonus, because these are the kinds of games that are forgettable. You don't remember them, you just move forward. You take the result, and that's it. You just take it for face value. You don't really, you just block everything else out. Let's have a look. Can we win 8 of 10 starting with this game? Potentially. There are a lot of winnable games here. 66 rebounds is crazy from the Nets. Yep. I mean, 3 players getting a dozen or more is grouse. Considering our injuries, I'm happy we are 5-5. Got to stay in touch with the leaders in the East. Another thing we can do, as a part of this little thingamabob, how were the Clippers losing, bro? I mean, I've just seen one of you in chat say the Clippers are trash. They're losing to Memphis, who are 1-8. If they lose, man, they are down bad. They have really struggled. Really struggled. Offensively, especially. They've only got 92 points with 4 minutes left in the fourth, against Memphis. Charlotte are going to see Miles Bridges return as well. This is the outlook. We're 9th in the East. But as you can see, there is a big logjam like last season in the same part of the table. 4 to 10 is separated by a game. 4 to 11 is separated by a game. And there's potential for that to tighten up even more because we have a number of games between... who else? Indy play Philly. Indy are, they're 6-3, so they're playing really well. It's weird because the game's over at 9:50 now in Australia, and there's still like 10 games to come today. Miami play the Spurs. Who else? Is there any Eastern teams on the West Coast? No. So it's pretty good that we've got the W. Without Clax, we lose today. Clax is underappreciated by a lot of Nets fans. Next game, will be wearing a Claxton jersey. He's back. He's back on the map. I'm a bit of a fanboy, so really enjoy watching him play. And I think, like, seeing Claxton in deals for Karl Anthony Towns, like, really, come on now. Karl Anthony Towns, Claxton, they're basically the same player, and you'd have to give up assets. They're not the same player. I just said that because, like, in terms of impact-wise, I think Claxton would have more impact on our team than Karl Anthony Towns would. I do think Ben would probably get the best out of Cat, but at the same time, like, you don't know what you're going to get with Karl Anthony Towns. If he can't score the ball, defensively, does he do enough on that side? I don't know. He'd probably be a net negative. I get more hyped up by Claxton than I think I ever would with Karl Anthony Towns scoring 3-pointers and all this. So, yeah. How are the Pacers this good? I don't know. I actually don't know. They've got a really good team, a really well-rounded team. They've been blessed with the power of health at the start of the year as well. They haven't really had too many injuries. I did do a video as well. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It is a video on the Nets bench, and it's analyzing the performance against the Clippers, but it's also talking about the Nets generally and how they are a very deep, team, a very deep team. So, when you can draw on your 11th and 12th players in your rotation and they're performing, that really embodies a deep roster. So after the stream, you can check that one out as well. It hasn't really been pushed out to too many people, so if you want to check that out, make sure to do so, and show it some love, share it around. Let's have a look. Harden is a team killer. He is. Apparently so. Ben, Cam, Clax, Mikal, and anybody else. I think that's going to be the general consensus from many. It's going to come down to, like, Finney Smith and Johnson and Dinwiddie and all these guys. I would love to see, like, having Dinwiddie, Johnson, O'Neal, Lonnie Walker off the bench, Day'Ron Sharp. That is a good bench. A good bench. And that's, without including players like Watford and, Dennis Smith Jr. can hold up as a rotational player at times when he's not handling the rock, when he's not facilitating. Because today he was throwing some lob passes that absolutely were not on. CJ's not worth 108 million has fooled us. It's only been 3 games of the new deal. And as I said, things will come good, but you've got to be patient. As sports fans, a lot of people jump the gun. So I beg, even with this Mikal slow start as well, he's going to come good eventually. He's too good. He showed that run last year. If he's not good, he's not playing that well last year. He's got that in him. It's just going to be a matter of drawing upon that again, and finding his feet. Same with Cam Johnson. A lot of the looks were there. He's just got to knock him down. And sometimes that comes down to a bit of luck. It comes down to a bit of confidence. You're still finding your feet if you've been out 7 games and it's only your 2nd game back, So I wouldn't be too pessimistic about the way these players have been performing, because I think it'll come good. We got the win today. Those 2 did not perform. Well, Mikal did, but not in the efficiency department. But we did enough. That is the key word, enough. We did enough. So as long as we win, we forget about this. We just move forward. We've got Orlando in a couple of days' time. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for hanging around. I don't usually have this many people hanging around, it's awesome to see. Drop a like on it on your way out. Let's have a look. I get that, but this is nothing new. I just think he's reached his ceiling. In the preseason, I did say he's going for about, what did I say? I said he's going for about 16 a game. I think the prompt was like Cam Johnson over or under 16 points, 16 and a half, and I said 16. So I think, I think there's going to be, I don't think Cam Johnson is going to be I don't know what Nets fans are expecting from CJ, but I don't think he's going to average, I think he's always going to average like 16 or 17 a game. I think it's more the defensive stuff. We're going to see more of a defensive lift from him. Great call under difficult and sleepy conditions. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in and hanging around and staying with me, bearing with me. Thanks for the early Monday morning call. Good to start the week with a win. Yep. Couldn't say it any better. I'm afraid we're holding them to a standard that they're just not able to be at. I think from what I've learnt from my other sporting clubs, start with low expectations so then you get surprised when they overperform. I mean, obviously it's not good to set low expectations, but you know what I mean. The intention is there. That run Mikal had last year was because the system we're playing different this year. I mean, we're playing with more pace, so if anything, Mikal should be getting more looks. Good looks. So I wouldn't expect him to score more because obviously the usage is a bit different. Cam Thomas is more of the ball. Ben Simmons is facilitating, so there's a lot of catch and shoot situations, so a bit similar to Phoenix in that regard. It's not us, it's the organization expecting this and it's not panning out. We're just fans calling it how we see it. I mean, and it's fair enough. You're well and truly within your right to do that. I think obviously we just need to see how this one really pans out, to be honest. I think like at the moment it doesn't look good, but I do have faith that we're going to see better. Because granted, I don't think it can get too much worse. So it's just, it's one of those things. I don't think you can get too discouraged by it at the moment. All I see it as is, this is the way I see it. If you put it into perspective, we're 5-5. We've had Claxton and CJ out for 7 of the 10 games. Mikal hasn't really performed. Cam Thomas just got injured a couple games ago. The bench has been firing. There have been players stepping up. Dorian Finney-Smith. There's a lot of positives to extract. And more importantly, we are 5-5. We're at 500. And Mikal has not performed. So there's been a lot of contributions elsewhere. And Mikal he has been very inefficient to start the year. I think the key thing out of this, though, is there are other players that can make up for what Mikal isn't doing at the moment. And I think that's okay. I think if we do have the players, Mikal scoring 20 on 15 shots, like that's fine. When we've got 4 other players that can equally contribute 15. That's the only plus about this season. Our record and the bench showing up for us. I see it as a huge positive. We're only 10 games into the season, so if there's any time of year that you want your players to be, slow, like slowly getting into the swing of things, it's now. I'd rather it happen now as opposed to the end of the season when, obviously there's a little bit more importance. And the fact we've remained afloat, 5-5, with a very winnable run of fixtures to close out November, there's a lot of reason for optimism. I think the key is just don't get too discouraged. I think it's been a pretty good performance. Not in terms of the way we've shot the ball, the way we've really played generally, but the resolve in the second half. When the game needed to be won, we took the right shots, defensively got the stops we needed, and put a team that we should have got, a team we should have put to bed much earlier in the game. We put them to bed when it really mattered. So look at the positives. And I'm one of the most pessimistic people around, and I'm still managing to find the positives. So I urge you to do the same. Don't fall into the trap of, taking everything negatively. Obviously, you can call things the way people see it, but if you dwell on the negatives too much, then obviously that's going to cloud your vision. You're going to completely ignore all the positive things that have been happening this season. So that's going to do it from me. Thank you for bearing with me, because the stream was a little bit rough in the early going, but we got it up and running, and we were able to witness a good second half. I just think we should sell high when players are value now. It's a really weird spot, because obviously probably not good enough to compete. Good enough to compete, but not good enough to contend. If you get rid of these players, you're going to be facing a period of rebuilding. And, I mean, yeah, is it really do you want to sell these assets? I mean, I don't know. It's a really weird spot. I think that's a discussion for another day. But MB and CJ are reason the Suns were so good. Great to have them on our team. Yeah, I think it's going to require patience. It's really that simple. I don't want to really complicate things. It literally is that simple. So yeah, a lot of things in sport aren't rocket science. Only if we can get a star in return. And it depends what that star is, because it can change by situation. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thank you for tuning in. We're 5-5. We'll be back in 48 hours for the next game on the way out. If you want to show your support, that would be much appreciated. Casino, take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the feedback and engagement. Let's evaluate this squad when we're healthy. I fully agree with that statement. Thanks for hanging around. We are still here, probably half an hour after the game's done, and there's 15 of you in chat, which is awesome to see. So, thanks for the support. Thanks for bearing with all the difficulties of today. Yeah, hopefully it's a little bit more smooth sailing next time around. We will catch you in 24 hours or 48 hours. Make sure to not rock up in 24 hours. Otherwise, we'll have an issue. But yeah, thanks. Have a good one. We'll see you all in a couple of days. Stay safe until then. Bye for now.